Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the Morphin Grid. I am Josh.
And I'm Jake.
He's Jake. You learn you a lesson.
Sha. So today, we're watching my favorite episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Switching Places. I am so hype. I cannot contain myself. If you're new here, hey, how's it going? What's up? You're shooting daggers at me. What we do is we pause the recording, we watch an episode of Power Rangers, we come back, and we talk about it, and little demon children scream outside the windows. That's pretty much...
That's the running theme of the show.
That's life at the Morphin Grid, here at the glorious Morphin Grid Studios in sunny Austin, Texas. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause right now. We're going to watch the episode. I'm super excited. Oh, also, it aired October 4th, 1993. I didn't say that in the beginning because little demon children, again, who are just filled with energy. So much energy. I don't know where they get it all. Anyway, before this gets too out of control, it's Morphin time. And we're back. We just watched Switching Places. And you guys, it holds up.
You guys.
All of you guys.
It holds up.
So before we get started...
It's okay.
Oh, you asking for it now? That's fine. If you don't like it as much as I do, I get it. We'll talk about why I like it so much in a bit. But anyway, before we jump in, you can reach us in a lot of different places on the internet, such as morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter @morphingrid. We have a studio audience today. His name is Tony, and he's staring at me and trying to make me laugh, but it ain't gonna work.
It's working for me.
Because I got Switching Places to talk about. So, anything else before we get to jump in? Did you take a note?
No, I just didn't know where my phone was.
Okay.
It's over there.
All right, so this episode starts immediately. Like, this is not one of those ones where they're like, let's go see what the Power Rangers are doing at the juice bar. They're like, no, plot, let's go. So it starts off with Squat, who you will remember is the infiltrator, infiltrating Billy's lab as loudly as humanly possible. He's talking out loud to himself.
He's having a monologue.
He's like bumping around stuff. He's laughing all weird. And so his plan, Billy has this machine that will send thoughts from one brain to another brain.
It's a mind-reading machine.
Yeah, it's a mind-reading machine. But Squat, who is Monster Skull, maybe it's Monster Baboo.
I think he's Monster Bulk.
Monster Bulk,
Baboo
yes.
is a monster already, so he's not Monster
Look, I'm just
Baboo.
so excited about Switching Places. So anyway, so Squat takes two prongs and puts them in the opposite place, and that's going to turn Billy's brain to mush. That's the plan, is to make Billy a mush brain. Because, you know, if your smart guy's all dumb, then that's going to distract the Power Rangers.
Yeah, Rita's done trying to kill kids and is just back to trying to distract them.
Well, if you'll notice, the distractions work a lot better than trying to murder them.
Because Squad even says, that'll distract the Power Rangers and they won't notice what Rita's doing.
Right, so...
That's how Squad.
Then we jump
That's
up.
a pretty good Squad.
That was a pretty good Squad. Then we jump up to the moon, where Rita's like, give me the genie! And then we go back down. Like, it's literally just like... We're going to use the genie. We don't see the genie yet. She just says there's a genie. And then it goes back down to Billy's lab. Billy says something in Billy speak. I don't remember exactly what. But Kimberly, who's the only person there, gets it. She's finally starting to learn a little bit of Billy speak.
She translates it on her own.
Slowly. Like when I try to figure out French. Because I know a little French.
Right.
But not enough to be able to just figure out what it is. And so, basically, the idea is that they're going to throw some knowledge into each other's brains. I'm not sure exactly why. I don't know what...
He's just testing his machine out.
Yeah, just testing it. That makes sense. Who better... Kimberly didn't have any sports or anything to do today, so she's like, yeah, I'll help.
She's the one that fits in the machine.
Yeah, because there's two person-shaped holes, right? Like when Wile E. Coyote jumps through a wall. It's that. But one of them is Billy height, and the other one is Kimberly height. So later, when Skull's in the Kimberly one, he has to, like, duck, and it looks really goofy.
And I was like, why isn't this Trini? But if Billy and Trini switched places, it would be fine.
It'd be fine. They would make it work pretty easily. But Billy and Kimberly are the two most opposite people on the team.
Yeah.
So that's where the fun is.
Billy and Jason would have been fun, too.
Yeah, but I don't know if Austin St. John could necessarily pull off doing Billy, you know? Whereas Amy Jo Johnson was a trained actress before, so she kind of she's more able. The acting parts, she's more able to like get.
She's a pretty good.
Same
Billy.
thing with Narvi and Schreier, who we'll talk about in a second. But
does Narvi have his degree yet, or did he get that later?
Oh, not at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, he got it later. He teaches at Concordia University in Chicago. I think.
We can go to Chicago.
Yeah, let's just go to Chicago right now.
Just to take an acting class with Jason
Narvi. But anyway, they were hired not because they knew karate or gymnastics or anything, but because they're pretty good actors.
Because they're actors.
Like, you know, their acting ability is what brought them to the show.
And because when they were auditioning together, their chemistry was off the charts.
Well, it shows. We'll talk about them in just a minute. So, Bulk and Skull show up, and they're hiding behind the rad bug, and they're spying on them, and they're like, "Oh, it makes you."
Just in case you forgot, the red bug.
It's a thing.
It's still there.
So
it doesn't do anything except provide cover.
Yeah, the rad bug is just there this episode, but Bulk and Skull think that the machine is going to give you telepathic powers, not be able to read minds from the other one, but just read minds in general.
No, they think it's going to let you read minds from the other one.
No, because
when they get in there, Bulk's like, think of something, and then I'll tell you what it is.
But before then, when they're still hiding behind the rad bug, before a dog chases them off, he's like, Billy's "Can you imagine what you could do with the ability to read minds?" And then Skull goes,
right.
And he's like, "If you had a mind to read,"
because he checked out. He was like,
yeah. So some dog shows up, scares them off. They run, and before we jump into anything else, we're going to do what was Kimberly wearing this episode, part 1.
There's like 1,700
There's a
parts.
lot going on.
There's what was Jason wearing, which we're going to talk about.
That is a big one. What was Billy wearing is also going to factor because for
it's
a time,
technically what Kimberly is wearing.
So Kimberly starts off wearing a red tank top, short, jean shorts.
Not short shorts.
Not short shorts, but
shorts.
Jean shorts, they're shortish.
They're above the knee. They're a good 4 inches probably, but they're not short shorts. They're not hugging her crotch.
Right. And then she's wearing regular white sneakers, and none of this matters, whatever. The important thing is that she's wearing like a darker shade of lipstick than usual.
Just has a pink choker on.
The pink choker.
I think it also has her heart.
She had that a couple episodes ago too, though. So that's old hat by now. But this slightly darker shade of lipstick is doing a lot for me.
Well, she had it left over from when she was a punk. She was like, it's not bad.
It works.
It works with this darker red shirt.
She's like, I can wear anything because I'm freaking gorgeous. So that's what she's wearing. Billy is wearing a shirt and overalls, whatever. So that's part 1. There are at least 3 more parts. 2 more parts.
At least 2 more.
There's at least 2 more parts.
So, not including Jason.
Not including Jason.
Oh, if you heard that thud, that was just my neighbors slamming some doors.
Yeah, downstairs, but it sounds like it's upstairs, even though this is the top floor. It's weird. Anyway.
Whatever. You guys are used to it by now. I'm going to stop pointing it out.
Right. So anyway, they switch, they turn the machine on, and this is a slight inconsistency. And it happens again with Bulk and Skull, so it's a consistent inconsistency, but it's still an inconsistency. Billy turns the machine on, right? And they flop around like they're bacon,
Oh, we have to make a point.
Pretend you're bacon when you're frying a pan.
They have to hold hands.
Yes, also. They do have to hold hands because the machine, that's how it works.
Because you have to link with the other person.
Right, yeah. Because your electricity has to flow through each other. Or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
So,
science, you guys.
So Billy turns the machine on, because he's on if you're looking at him, he's on the right. He turns the machine on. They switch brains. How does Kimberly know to turn the machine off?
Plot convenience?
Yes, but then Bulk and Skull do the same thing later. So it's an inconsistent consistency.
Yeah.
Or it's a consistent
consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, which is fine. As long as you are consistent in some way during these things, it's fine. So then Billy, who is now in Kimberly's body, it switches your personality. Basically your whole brain, your whole mind.
It puts
switches,
your brain in their body.
but it also switches your eyesight because
it's part of your brain.
Because Kimberly needs Billy needs his glasses back,
which she wears the hell out of.
Yes, she does. So,
Did I say hell? Should I not say hell? Should I re-record that line?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Billy, who again is now Kimberly, is like, we had spatial personality displacement. Dysplasia. They got
Hip dysplasia.
And Kimberly, who is now Billy, is like, what are you saying? Like it's not already obvious. She just doesn't want it to be true.
Well,
I think.
like, what happened is she's starting to understand Billy earlier in the episode, but now she's so rattled. She's like, just say it.
Just say it.
Just tell me what's happening.
Just tell me.
Why am I a man?
Yeah, if this wasn't on Fox Kids, there's a whole different set of weird stuff that they have to deal with. Like if this is a WB show, it'd be a whole new set of problems. But this one boils down to Billy can't cook and Kimberly doesn't know computers.
Right.
Right. So that's and also Billy can't apply makeup, and I mean Billy gets mostly an upgrade, but he just can't use computers anymore.
Right.
In terms of like from an outsider's point of view. Like,
right.
Whereas Kimberly's got a whole mess of problems going on now.
Kimberly's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Or Billy.
Bill Burley.
And Kimley.
Or not, no. We're going to get rid of those. So.
Kimley sounds like a dwarf.
So anyway, we go back, it does. So we go back up to the moon where Rita isn't here. She's just not hanging out. Goldar summons the genie, who is Anubis, basically.
It's a rat.
From the lamp. Is it a rat? It looked like a jackal to me. It looked like Anubis.
Maybe it's a jackal.
The Egyptian god of death. Anyway, so they summon it, and Goldar is like screaming at him, telling him what he needs to do, and he's like, "You will go down to the earth, and you will get that."
He's not screaming. That's just how Goldar talks.
But he runs out of breath, and it's really funny because like the last time he's like. He's like pushing the rest of the words out by the time he gets in. He's like, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" Like he was like so happy to be giving orders for once. I think that he just got overexcited.
This is the first instance of Goldar's the second in command. I think.
I think so. Before it's like they're all dumb.
Lackeys.
They're all dumb lackeys. So Anubis goes back down. The genie. Leaves. We go back to the lab where Bulk and Skull break in on their hands and knees.
Bulk has his dumb diaper hat on.
He's got his bomber cap, but they crawl in on their hands and knees and look around in sequence, like completely in sync.
At one point, I think it's after they look around, Jason Narvey tries to crawl like sneakily. It looks really goofy.
Yeah. Also, Bulk says, "I saw how Billy did it." So he knows how to use the machine, despite the fact that he was just being chased by a dog.
He looked in the window and saw Billy flip the switch as he was running.
He was running away. I'll buy it. So then they're like, "All right, you think of something." Bulk's like, "Skull, you think of something. I'll switch the machine, and I'll tell you if I read your brain." And Skull goes, "Can I think of Kimberly?" My thoughts exactly, Skull. But Bulk's like, "No, you don't tell me what you're thinking about. It'll ruin the whole thing." So they switch, and they like have to, like, Bulk as Skull takes his cap off and puts it on, and you can tell immediately that these guys are going to have a fun time doing this episode,
right?
Just getting to be each other. And like Paul Schreier goes full Jason Narvey. Like he goes as far as he can into that wall.
He's got the laugh down,
like the repeating everything.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's good.
It's good.
Also, before he flips the switch, they begrudgingly grab each other's hands.
Right. Yes, because you have to, because that's a part of the thing. So then we cut to the next day where Billy is trying to put on makeup, and he looks like a clown. Like he's just all over his face, and he's like, "I think makeup's overrated anyway."
He puts it on and then wipes his hand over it.
Like number one, you didn't need to put that makeup on because Amy Jo Johnson is perfectly. She's fine without it. Like, But I like that they're trying to keep up appearances as much as they can, because like Billy is now dressed up. This is where we're going to jump into what was Kimberly wearing part 2. Kimberly, as Billy, is wearing, were they jeans? I didn't notice.
Just regular
jeans, and then like a vest and a polka dot.
It's a
black and white polka dot shirt.
Square kind of polka dot.
It's like it's fancy. He's like a fancied up Billy, and his hair is done. It's not just like a mop on his head. It's like done a little bit. And then Billy, as Kimberly, has like this big purple sweatshirt and like jeans, and like she's just trying to be like, whatever, this is good enough. I don't want to see my friend naked. Like, you know, and like I like that they're still showing their own personalities within it, but they're also trying to like not just come out and say like we switch brains, you know,
right?
Because you can't do that at school. You know, it'd be weird. No one would get it. That Power Rangers are a thing, but switching brains is too far.
Right.
So Billy is trying to teach some kid computer stuff, or Kimberly is trying to teach some kid computer stuff.
This is confusing.
It is confusing. It's very confusing.
You guys, need to watch the episode if you haven't.
I really hope you watch the episode with us, just so you can tell. If not, just pause it, hop on Netflix. It's 20 minutes. Just watch it. It's fine. You just have to watch the first 10 minutes and then the last 2, because the whole monster stuff, who cares about? It's just monster stuff. You get it. So he's like, then you hit that grungy button. Kimberly's like, you hit that grungy button in the corner, and the kid's like, that's delete. And he's like, not that corner, the other one. And it goes over to Billy, who's trying to make a souffle.
A cheese
souffle, where basically there's just a bunch of stuff in a bowl. And he's like trying to mix it. It's going everywhere. It hits people in the face. And then Billy puts it in the oven.
It's a microwave.
And take it out. And it's just like balloon. I'm pretty sure this is how it works. I'm pretty sure it's a balloon that they put in a bowl and then covered with cheese. So when it pops, all the cheese will go everywhere.
Right.
Because that's not what a souffle looks like at all.
Maybe that's the joke.
Well, yes, it is. But like they're like, she's like, or Billy is like, it's a souffle. And it's not. Like that's, I mean, Billy's like, it's close enough. This is all I could do. I'm not ready for home ec. I have a computer class I could be teaching. So then we go back up to space, where something weird.
Well, you forgot when Kimberly blew up the computer, or was that later?
Oh no, you're right. I didn't write that down. Yes, Kimberly blows up the computer by hitting the self-destruct button
on the keyboard.
Yeah,
and the kid's like, "What'd you do that for?" And then
Kimberly's like, "What's the big deal?"
Like, what's the big deal? And then the monitor starts to shake, because that's where all the computer.
That's where all the technology is.
Nowadays, that's true.
It is, yeah. Before it used to be in the keyboard, because I spilled a Squeeze-It on our keyboard, and our computer stopped working. Bad.
Remember Squeeze-Its? That faces and characters.
Those. And you'd be like, I want this one. It tastes the same, but you want the guys that you like.
Did you ever get the ones that had the little pills you drop in it, and it changes the color or the flavor of them?
Makes them Power Ranger Punk potions. Back on the moon. They're like, we're going to send you down into the genie. They're like, we're going to send you down in the lamp so Zordon can't trace you. Okay, that's their plan.
Yeah.
Genie goes in the lamp, send Earth, free to muck about whatever you want, because Zordon can't find you.
By the time he can, it'll be too late.
There's 2 problems with it that we'll get to in a second.
One tall problem and one shorter fat problem.
Yes. But first, we're going to go back to the kids, because this is a reoccurring, I guess it's our third, it's an unofficial segment, but it's not what was Jason wearing, it's why are you wearing that, Jason? He's wearing black pants.
Good so far.
Yep, a flannel vest tucked in.
Well,
fine.
It's fine.
But he has a sweater wrapped around him like he goes to Angel Grove Prep. In a sleeveless flannel under it. Like, come on, man. You're killing me. What even is this?
To be more specific, this red sweater is not wrapped around his waist.
It's wrapped around his shoulders.
It's tied around his neck. Like he's trying to be a fancy rich kid. But
he also really likes his flannel sleeveless shirts.
he wants to show off the guns.
Oh, God.
Free gun show at Angel Grove High.
At least it's not red pants, I guess. I guess that's all I can say about it.
At this point in the episode, Jake stopped everything he was doing and yelled at Jason through the TV. I just want everybody to know.
It's ridiculous. Come on. That's so weird. But anyway, then we go back to Squat and Babu, where, or no, we do go to Bulk and Skull because they're like completely switched outfits. They're full on each other now. Skull or Bulk in Skull's body is now eating a spaghetti sandwich. I think it's
a giant one. He has another one on the table,
and then. To spaghetti and meatballs because he says that, and then Skull goes, "Yeah, spaghetti meatballs." Ah!
Skull, who is
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler.
Anyway, so like, and this is when I was like, you can tell they're having a lot of fun. They're having a blast here, just like making fun of each other.
Because Paul Schreier's chomping on the gum.
Yeah, like a cow. Like,
and then Bulk is like, "You're breathing on my sandwich."
On my sandwich. It's good. I like it.
It's pretty good.
So then we go back to Squad Babu, who, if you'll remember from like a minute ago, the plan was Genie goes in the lamp goes to Earth, Zordon can't tell that the Genie went to Earth, right? That's the plan. Here's what they do. Genie goes in the lamp, they give it to Squat and Babu and send Squat and Babu to Earth, who Zordon can track, because he immediately goes...
Can he track Squat?
No, well, I think as we've established, he can, but he just wants to build character or something because he's a jerk. He's some sort of, like, on some power trip trying to manipulate these kids' lives. But anyway, Squat has the lamp, and Babu's like, "Don't drop it." So then Squat immediately drops it and leaves it there, and they go away. Is that what happened?
No, that's what happened.
Am I missing something?
He was rubbing it, and he dropped it. He left it there with the essence of the Genie spilling out of it. I don't know.
Because the Genie is out of it, but then Zordon immediately goes, "There's trouble in the Morphin grid. Someone go get that lamp." The lamp should be untraceable, right? Isn't that what they're trying to tell us?
That's what Rita... Maybe that's just what Rita thought.
But Rita... No, it wasn't Rita that said it was Goldar.
That's wise, because Rita wasn't there. She would have hit Goldar with her staff. You idiot!
That's super traceable. That's gold. I mean, they don't know... Like, they know the Genie comes from it. They just don't... Like, it's so weird. It's a really weird use of the ZU footage, too, because, like, it starts bouncing back and forth between the Power Rangers who are teleported to the command center and then told that the Genie's up to no good.
They have the lamp, too. Did Alpha just go get the lamp?
No, Zach grabbed it. They all did, but then Zordon teleported there.
I missed that, even though I was watching it.
Zach sans his karate pants.
Karate the pants.
But, like... I don't know. Couldn't they just be like, "No, it won't. It's traceable." You know, they could have figured something out. The point is, they could have done something. They could have done better. This is the only part of the episode that falls apart.
Zordon was like, he Squat and Babu came down, so he saw that, and then they dropped the lamp, and he just panned the viewing globe over to see what it was.
He's like, "Get that lamp." But then as soon as I got the lamp back, he's like, "The Genie came from this lamp."
Because he was coming out of it before they got...
Well, no, but they didn't see that. They just saw the lamp. Because Alpha's like, it's just a regular lamp.
Zordon knows what the Genie lamp is.
Well, right, but then why shouldn't he... Why would they assume that it's untraceable to him if he knows what it... Like, it's a lot of weird stuff.
Or maybe the lamp isn't traceable, but he knows that the Genie was in it. And they found
like
it because it came down with Squat and Babu.
All right. Okay, that's... I like that. All right. We're back on board now.
All right.
So...
You should ask Uncle Howard, because he's probably fought the Genie.
He probably fought it back when he was a Masked Man. When he was Masked Man Yellow. So the Power Rangers morph and then go fight the Genie. Which they should have... I know the budget was not, like, enormous, but I wish they would have just done, like, David Yost saying pterodactyl. Or, or saying Triceratops as Kimberly. You know,
right?
Like, and same with Amy Jo Johnson. If they would have just done like just those two little inserts, that would have been nice. But budget concerns, time constraints, because they filmed 1 million episodes a week. It seems like, yeah. So
also, Zordon doesn't even mention that they're switched.
he doesn't care. What's he care? It's just their lives. It doesn't have anything to do with the monsters.
Like, that could have been a big, like, in battle thing. Like, because Billy's never piloted the pterodactyl.
That's why I would have. The problem is the ZU footage is not the same. They were like, oh, here's an episode about a genie, and this episode's kind of dumb. Let's have Billy and Kimberly switch bodies. That'll be fun. Like, I don't know if it's kind of dumb.
They set a really high bar with Foul Play in the Sky that they haven't even come close to since.
Right. Oh, that's a good episode. That was a really good one.
It's because it's solid. It doesn't contradict itself.
Everything tracks the whole time. This one, the only parts that don't track is when they add the monsters. Because then it jumps between them fighting and Zordon going
and the Pink
alpha.
Ranger is still May, so she's doing gymnastics,
right?
Which we're supposed to believe is Billy,
right? Which Billy doesn't know gymnastics yet. And later on, he just like gets it, but like right now, he doesn't know gymnastics.
David Yost does,
right? But we're not watching David Yost. We're watching Billy Cranston, or more accurately, we're watching,
Billy Joe Johnson.
No, what?
What? Because they're different.
Kimberly Hart.
Oh, right.
Billy
Hart. Kimberly Cranston.
Kimberly Cranston. Anyway, let's move on from this stuff. So oh man, I jumped ahead. I have a note that was a weird thing. Right before after they fight the monster, the genie, they get teleported back. Because the genie, they can't even touch the genie. They can't get him at all, right? Because he's super powerful or whatever.
So Hunch is like, now you know how powerful the genie is.
Come on back. And then, so they're in their suits, right?
I sent you out to fail.
He did. He's Dumbledore. Because Dumbledore is a monster, basically.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm fine.
So they're like, well, how are we going to beat him then? And Billy, who is still Kimberly in Kimberly's body at this point, goes, oh, we'll just have to combine our energy or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But he puts his hand on Jason's shoulder, in a really weirdly intimate way. And I was like, Billy, what's going on? Not like it's bad or anything, but it's weird that Billy would do this unless Kimberly's inner chemistry is starting to affect his brain, because your brain can only survive in someone else's body for so long before
right. Plus, it's also being bombarded by all the female hormones.
Right. Well, because it's not their brain, their physical brains. It's their mind. So you still have all of their chemicals in their head. That's doing weird stuff to you. So he just puts his hand on Jason's arm, just super no, it's fine, it's gonna be okay.
Just cash.
Ooh,
whatever.
A little muscly. It's a nice surprise. So
is it a surprise? The guy had sleeveless flannel.
Right. Maybe that's when it started happening. Right. Billy's like, I'm going to touch that arm.
Because he was dressed so fancy. Billy was like, hey, Jace.
Well, no, Kimberly. Billy in Kimberly's body.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it was probably ooh.
Right.
Look at that arm. I'm going to touch that. I'm going to find an excuse to touch that later.
Touch that arm.
Just to see. Well, who cares? I'm in someone else's body.
Our audience is not... He's shaking his head in disapproval.
Well, whatever. It's not his podcast. They go back to the field, which it looked like the same one that they fought the Minotaur on. The same one that Terrible back in episode 3. Episode 3.
3.
Because it's got that weird ridge sort of thing, and Rita just showed up, who's been absent as a giant for no reason. And then she says, "In your face, Power Rangers!" And then throws her wand at the genie.
She doesn't throw her wand. She zaps him with it.
So the genie gets bigger, but this is an auditory podcast, right? So you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to describe it as best I can. Jason is looking up at Rita, who's huge,
right?
And then the genie grows, and he bends backwards to look up higher,
because the genie's closer.
Okay, because for a second it registered to me as she's making the genie giant in proportion to her.
Rita is a giant beyond the hill. She's behind the hill.
Right, he's in front of the hill. Okay. Yeah. But it was just so funny, like him going like, whoa, whoa. But then they go, oh, we need dinosaur power now. And then this is my favorite joke about Power Rangers is sometimes the episode comes in a little short, right? And
Yeah.
And so they're in the editing. This is back in 1993. They're like, we just edited Switching Places. It's good, but it's a little too short. We got like 2 minutes we need to fill. And then Saban just goes, just do the whole Zord sequence. Start to finish. The whole thing.
Right. Tyrannosaurus stretching out his knees.
Stretching out. Pterodactyl coming out of the volcano and swooping towards us. Go right into the tank. Then go into the Megazord. Just take as long as you need to. Because it took the whole time to get to the Megazord. It was like 2 or 3 minutes. Later, when they get Titanus, there's an episode where I swear to God, half of it is the Titanus Megazord sequence. It's like 10 minutes of just them calling every Zord they've ever met, building them from scratch. It's a mess. But anyway, we go back to the command center, and Alpha's got the lamp, and Zoran's like, the secret of the power is in the lamp. We gotta destroy it. And he's like, oh, I'll just chuck it in the Morphin grid. I'll chuck it in the teleporter or whatever.
He's gonna zap it.
He's gonna zap it with something. And they're like, no, don't. Because if you do, it'll destroy the whole Morphin grid. So, Alpha, dude, we're only 16 episodes in.
We haven't even got to Green with Evil.
We haven't even got to Green with Evil. So, like, be careful with that lamp.
Obviously, he was.
He was, because here we are. Thank you. Thank you, Alpha. So, he puts it in... Does he put it in anything, or does he just have it on the thing?
Know
and he's like,
to
he's slowly turning a dial that's zapping it while the Power Rangers are getting beaten. And at some point, Jason's like, we need to reroute the power past the damage so we can have more power. Or something. It made no sense.
It was basically, ignore the damage and give us more power. Then they immediately get slapped by the genie.
We gotta be John Cena and just put our winning animation on.
But they don't.
They don't.
Because the genie keeps beating them.
And then Rita, who's still giant, just watching, is like, use your big drill! Because the genie's got a big drill with a crank on it.
With a hand crank on it.
Then we go back to the command center, and Alpha's like slowly playing with these dials, because Zora's like, don't go too fast. Whoa, man. Careful
they
with that.
won't learn a lesson if you go too fast.
You go too fast. So Alpha destroys it, and the genie dies, and the Power Rangers beat the genie basically by waiting. They just waited long enough, and he died. And then Rita disappears because she's mad. Then we go back to...
In your face,
In
Power
your face,
Rangers!
Power Rangers! I don't know why she said that.
Because she was a giant for no reason.
Right. I have no idea. But anyway, then we go back to the lab where Billy is like, all right, we're going to put us back now. Why they didn't just immediately put them back, I don't know. I mean, then the episode wouldn't have happened. So thank you for not...
Maybe he had to recalibrate the phasers.
Well, no, because there's no phasers. What? No, maybe there's like a cooldown between different brains. Like you can't switch the same brain too quickly or else it'll explode.
Right, maybe.
Not that he would know that, because it's only been...
But then after they switch back, Bulk and Skull immediately come in and get switched back.
different pairs of brains.
Okay, all right.
So, like, you can't be like, I'm going to put myself in...
and Skull
Trini
has to duck to fit into the Kimberly-sized
Yeah,
hole.
because he's a little... they're like, we want to go back to normal. And then Skull, as Bulk, was like, yeah, we want to go back to normal. And then... it's just a weird face. And then... Trini was like, maybe we should leave you like this, teach you a lesson about touching other people's property. And then Bill's like, you were playing with my machine? And Bulk is like, no, what? But then Skull's like, yeah, we were. We did it. And they switch him back and everything's fine. The day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Rangers.
Yep. So until next time. Smell you later.
Don't just jump right into it. So, okay, so that's it. So, this episode's in the books. Final thoughts on Switching Places.
It's okay. There's weird stuff in it that makes me wish it was a better episode.
I wish there was no Power Rangers stuff. I wish they were too busy to have Power Rangers stuff this episode.
There's only one episode of Power Rangers where there's no Power Rangers stuff.
And that's...
I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger.
Dreaming of a White Ranger, which is probably... my favorite episode of season 2. So, I would have liked it if they would have found a different episode to use, like if they found one without Dan or May in it,
right?
And then we just have them dealing with it while the others do their Power Ranger stuff. That would have been fine, but like because they're like, don't worry about your switched bodies, just go fight the genie who you can't beat until we beat him for you. And they didn't even tell the Rangers that the power was in the lamp.
No.
They just like, let them fight. They'll figure it out.
They could have just warped them out of there. Instead, they leave these teenagers in harm's way.
In mortal peril, because Zordon is not a good guy. He's been in that tube too long. So he's in a time warp right now. He's in a tube later.
He needs to get some air, man.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes. It still holds up despite the morphed stuff. That's the other stuff I don't like is the morphed stuff. It gets weird. But like
the rest of it is consistent, but the morphed stuff contradicts the unmorphed stuff.
And like the thing I really like about it is this is the first instance. Like this was like ground zero of me liking people switching bodies or genders or whatever, because it's like now you have a whole new set of problems that you are not equipped to deal with. And that's always good television for me. That's just 100% of the time. It's great television. Doesn't happen enough as far as I'm concerned.
Happens in basically every sci-fi TV series.
I mean, not the ones I've seen. Not enough anyway. It never happened on Buffy, which was a damn shame. I feel like there could have been a lot of good stuff if it would have just happened on Buffy once. But anyway, we're going to wrap up because I have to go to work.
Yes.
Very soon. So that's been Switching Places. One last time before we go. If you want to talk to us on the internet, you can go to Tumblr, which our website on Tumblr is morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter @morphingrid. If you're on iTunes, leave a review and a rating. If you want to be cool like Seiki 3. I mean, if you want to be that cool, you should just leave a rating.
I'm nodding. You guys can't hear me.
You can't see him,
nodding.
but he's definitely nodding. Thanks for listening, and until next time, may the power protect you. And then so he destroys it, and the genie. Excuse me. That was a weird burp. So I'm gonna start over.
That's fine.